Yeah, today is an anniversary. Today, January 20th, 14 years ago, I had an experience that changed me, that changed how I perceive, how I view fear and anxiety and pressure. My friend Naomi and I had driven out to Revelstoke and slept the night in the back of her truck in big down sleeping bags, loaded up a chopper the next morning and flew 30 minutes into the northern Selkirks of British Columbia to a remote backcountry ski lodge, fully intent on 7 days of big climbs and big descents and deep snow. And we got it for 2 days. Because on the third day, we were both trapped in a Class 3 avalanche. Class 3 here in Canada means enough snow and enough power to destroy a small car, tear down trees, or bury a train car. 13 people were buried in that avalanche. 9 of them full burials, completely under the snow. 7 of those full burials, including Naomi, died. And I am one of the 2 full burials who survived for 12 minutes. The fear rose up the moment the avalanche stopped moving, and I was trapped. And it came as a certainty and as an image. The certainty that my friend was somewhere over there also trapped and suffering, and the image of her truck, of the front seat of her truck empty, and the fear that I would go home alone, which is an odd thing to talk about now because I know that she didn't make it and it comes back as pain. But then, in the minutes of being buried, it was this intense fear of what could happen. And it wanted to take over because that's what fear does. That's what fear wants. It wants to reach out and grab all of our attention. It wants to light up your lizard brain and compel you to do anything. Except that in that moment, if I had fought, I would have died too. I got lucky. I believe that luck is when practice and discipline collide with an opportunity. And the practice and discipline started for me over a decade before the avalanche. I was that kid who was on, off. I would joke with my friends, I think too much. And they would joke with me, Evan, you have 2 speeds, fast and lunch. And my mom saw this. She figured it out, and she got a tape. I don't know when, where, or how she got it. Nowadays, of course, we would say an app or a podcast. 4 minutes long, and it was a guided process to walk me through progressive muscle relaxation, PMR. Maybe you've heard of this. It was originally published in 1930s by a guy named Edmund Jacobson in his book titled, You Must Relax. So that's what my mom gave me. I tried it. It was about 4 minutes long. I liked it. It's exactly what it sounds like. Bit by bit, piece by piece, from your feet up to your shoulders, out through your arms, back to your neck and your face, you progressively ID and flex and relax your muscles one at a time. Takes a few minutes, but it leads to this amazing calm. And I like that. So I stuck with it for years, even to the point of teaching others, people that I would bike race with and run with, so that they could figure out how to relax the muscles that weren't moving them forward and then be more efficient and faster. And got really good at it. And in the moment of the avalanche, the luck hit in the weirdest way. The way the snow deposited me. And I say deposit because you really don't have any choice or control. People tell you that it will slow down and you can move your hands in front of your face. That didn't really happen. It's like wrestling 1,000 tons of snow, and gravity is on the side of the avalanche, not you, so you kind of don't have a lot of control. It deposited me and wrapped around me and stirred up and warmed up and then refroze, and I was cemented into this position where, I'll try and demonstrate, but I'm not that flexible anymore. My left leg, my ski was torquing out my left leg, and I could feel the twist in my knees and the intense pain in my leg. Tendon pulling on bone that deep. And it took my attention. It took a scrap of my attention, and it triggered all of that discipline. Oh. And the process followed, and I recognized my right leg was pushing, and I let it go. And my hips were flexed, and I let them go. And my back, right between the shoulder blades, like someone was clenching it. I let it go. And slowly but surely, as I did this, my awareness opened up. I took the focus back from the fear, bit by bit. The fear wasn't gone. The image was still there on the edge of my vision, wanting attention. I've learned since about this really neat concept, associative and dissociative focus, which are exactly what they sound like. Dissociative focus is where you push something away. You don't focus on it. You refuse to give it your attention, your focus. Associative focus is quite the opposite. You purposely give your attention to one thing. And you in the audience sitting here right now, you might give all of your attention to how the chair feels. And what's cool is that they're not mutually exclusive. When you associate with one thing, when you focus on one thing, the other gets less time and attention, right? You don't notice your feet because you're noticing the chair. And it works across levels, across planes from our physical to our mental to our emotional self. As I associated with my physical body, I dissociated from the emotional intensity. This is extensively researched, very well published, used for anxiety, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, injury recovery. I didn't know I was doing it. It kicked in. And my awareness woke up. And this really neat thing happens. We've got these ideas from our popular culture. FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, is famous for this quote about fear, right? The only thing to fear is fear itself. And we get into our popular culture the idea that we should therefore not have fear. And if you even get close to it, if you feel it rising up, a little bit of tension, a little bit of pressure, then deny that quick. Put it away, shove it away, don't admit it, you don't have it. But that doesn't work because ironically, that's you giving it attention. And it isn't even what FDR meant. If you read the rest of the quote, what he meant, what he was pointing at was that we should be afraid of the unreasoned, unjustified responses, reactions that fear will cause. Right back to fear, lighten up your lizard brain and compelling you to act. That's the part to be aware of. Not the fear, but what it does to us. It takes over. So I lay there, completely immobilized. I mean, not enough room to take a deep breath. It wraps around you. And my blood was thundering in my ears, and I could feel my body relaxing, and my awareness opened up, and my right foot could move a little. And I started to notice things outside me too, and the sun was coming. There was a bit of light coming through the cracks in the snow, and this opened awareness, getting attention units back and being able to focus again a bit, meant that I could think again, which is great. Maybe if my right foot can move a little, maybe that means that my ski tip is above the snow. That's good. And the light can come through the cracks, and so maybe I'm close enough that the air will circulate and I can lie here as long as I need to. That's good. And I also became more aware of the fear itself because it isn't gone. Emotions have a shelf life, and the irony is if we hold them, they last longer. If we are willing to be with them, they live out their 90 seconds chemically, they live out their 20 minutes short-term working memory, and then we get to move on. If the emotion's lasting longer than 20 minutes, it's because we're recreating it. But if we're willing to be with it, then we can have some attention back and we can learn about what's going on with that emotion. And I learned that the intense drive to solve the problem of the empty car seat was not going to serve me, that the fear was driven by a caring and a deep desire to help. Negative emotions are driven by something we care about. And it's only if we're willing to be with them for a few moments, maybe a few minutes, that we can find that peace that we care about. And when we focus on that, then we can respond instead of reacting. Fear, pressure, anxiety, these big emotions, they don't have to be yes, no. I have it, I don't. I'm willing, I won't. I admit it, I don't. They don't have to be either or. Fight or flight. Fear and anxiety and pressure can be, we can go past the instinctual old brain lizard response. We can go past that. These can be both and. I can be both with it and aware of what else is going on. We have to be willing to press pause and open up our awareness to do that. And so my challenge personally and my challenge to you as you go forward is that when you feel the emotion coming up, don't fight it. Don't push it away. Don't deny it. Instead, be willing to press pause. Sit with it for a moment. And open up your awareness. Because when we press pause and open up our awareness, that is the path back to focus. Thank you.